Hello everyone, we are back with Seesaw, and this time we are going to be exploring Seesaw Lessons. They have been new for 501 this past year, and they've been well received and are wonderful. We're going to start out by just going up and clicking the library button at the top of the screen, and that opens up the Seesaw Library, Resource Library. In the last video, we looked at community and school and district library and my library, but this time we're going to explore the Seesaw Library. The Seesaw Library contains a lot of videos that are professionally made and have a lot of different parts that pretty much follow a good lesson plan. I'll show you what I mean. You can search for topics here. Below, you have grade levels. It comes in as 4th grade because that's what my class was selected at. I can always go to all, and it'll bring them in for all grade levels. So you can see computer science is a new big one because everybody's having to teach computer science now, but we'll come back to that. It comes up with May special days we love to read and summer reading. The ones that are in the gold are ones that change from time to time. Obviously, May special days, these are things that happen in May. We love to read, this will change out, and then summer learning. Then you have ELA and early literacy, those are blue, math is yellow, so each different color has a meaning. I'm going to start out with pre-K, so I'm going to click pre-K for our preschool friends. And I'm going to scroll down to early literacy. And there are several different groups here, categories, fun phonemes. And if I click explore 42 lessons, it'll bring all 42 up. And you can see different sounds. So if I click on the one for the G sound, it will open up the lesson. The first thing it says gives you the grade, the subject, and so on. Do you see right here in blue where it says jump to lesson plan? This is your lesson plan. It's already made up for you. You don't have to do anything. Gives you a summary, an objective, an I will statement, links to the correct standards for Head Start standards and literacy standards, what resources you're going to need, what instructional format, and then of course how to teach each section, what you need to do, or what the students need to do more like. So I'm going to scroll up, and here are the different components of the lesson. All of these lessons start out with an introduction. The introduction is usually, as you see right here, a whole class experience, which means rather than assign it, you just need to click present to class. It opens up. They're generally just 1 or 2 quick pages. I can come in here, start the video,
welcome. Today
and
is the
it will play.
Sound party. Come join me. Oh, hey, sound.
Stop it. Because you can do that on your own. And then we can practice together. Once again, still whole group. Turn to your shoulder partner and practice the sound. And when you click it, it will play that. Then there's other practices. So this one is students will record themselves practicing and identifying the G sound. They're going to apply the sound and you're going to make a sound dance. They're going to play I Spy with a partner. And then the last one is almost always show what you know. Okay? So those are the components of most lessons. Now I'm going to go back to early literacy. And you can see there's also Alphabet Garden, and that's just what you think it means. Capital letters, it goes in through here. Keep scrolling down, then we go sing and play with letters. There's 79 lessons in here. And then finally, what else begins with this letter? So it does a great job of teaching all your alphabet. Here's Literacy Land down here, just a few early literacy things that you can also use. There are 6 lessons here. So those are some of the things that you can do with pre-K. I think I will just, if I seem to be mired in this, if I click Seesaw Library up here, it automatically takes me back to the beginning of it. This time I want to look at kindergarten. So I can look at kindergarten and try to find something, or if I know what I'm actually teaching, I know I'm doing something with familiar stories. So I put in familiar stories and it's going to pop right up. Once again, here's our lesson plan with everything you can do. Here's the introduction, the whole class. Then read, bedtime bonnet, so on. And so it has act, choose, write, connect, and show what you know. Oh, and draw. Something new that they've just put out not that long ago. Need to come up here to all. Our daily routines. Daily routines are a little bit different than a typical lesson format. They are just something to help you manage the routines in your classroom. Like when you're at the end of an activity and you want the students to clean up and get ready for the next thing. You can see there's only one thing, it's a listen. And so if you click this, it's just going to sing a song for you. So you present to class, click it, and it's going to pop up and start playing.
Look at this messy
This crazy little
space.
song.
Let's clean it up quick before the song is done.
We have 60 seconds to clean up our space. We'll pick up our things and put them in place. Early, we'll take a dance break.
We'll go back to lesson, and we'll go back to the Seesaw Library. So there's different things in there. There's cleaning up, there's getting the wiggles out, things like that. Let's move on to second grade, and let's say I'm teaching science, and I want to find a lesson about matter. There it is. Just exactly what I want. Students will explore matter with Dr. Science and Dr. Discovery and engage in STEAM activities to deepen their understanding. So this is a STEAM lesson, and STEAM lessons follow the format of science, technology, engineering, art, and math. You don't have to do all the components if you don't want, but it does put it all together for you. Once again, it starts with the introduction. Then you have the science part, and it says there's 2 practice pages. If you want to take a peek at it, that tells you right here. Notice up here that all of the items are in English and in Spanish for instructions. So if I click the English instructions,
Number 1.
they'll play.
Physical
Mine
properties
isn't
of
playing very
matter are
loud.
things that can be
Or the Spanish, and it is native speaking in
Uno.
Spanish.
Las propiedades físicas de la materia son cosas.
On to the next page. Share your observations of your favorite snack using your 5 senses. And it tells you. Fill in the T-chart and use your microphone, this tool right here, to record your observations. So, then there's the technology part, engineering, art, a math connection, and then students will discuss with a partner while slime can be both a liquid and a solid. And then the fun thing, you get to make a batch of slime. Always starts out, finishes up with show what you know. One of my favorite things is computer science, of course. I'm going to explore lessons. And let's come down here. I want to do some things with code. But you notice computer science is divided up into 5 components. And this one is about internet and digital leaders. The next one is computational thinking. Next one is code, which is your algorithms and programming. Then visual data talks, which is data analysis. There's design thinking. And then, of course, impacts in careers. So since we all have to teach computer science now, if you just come into the Seesaw library and run this and do it, you don't have to do it all in one day, all in one week. You can do a different piece and part of it over weeks, and you'll get all of your computer science requirements in. I'm going to come down into the coding part, and I want to do this Scratch one. This is 4th grade, and we encourage 4th and 5th grade to use Scratch. We usually use it though through Google CS First, csfirst.withgoogle.com, because it uses their Google login rather than the Scratch login. So once again, whole class experience. They're just going to watch a video to learn the vocabulary and understand the basics, because that's important. Then they're going to go into practice to practice programming the robocar to get to the waste center. It's the very first part. And go on. Then show what you know. Come in here and extending it. So different things you can do. Now, going in here will actually take you to the Scratch website. So that's nice to know. Okay. So there is a coding activity, how to program, teacher message, and it tells you the Scratch programming activity can take about 30 to 50 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to save this to your own drive, to your own lesson, because in this district we have Google CS First. They don't have to go into Scratch the same way. So I would actually save this, edit it, and make this my own by changing some of these directions. And it's easy to do. And here, when you click this, it's going to take you, because there's a link, right into Scratch. Okay? All right, so how do I go back and save this as my own? Well, I'm going to go back to the lesson. First thing, I've already saved it because I've already actually used this. So the first thing you would do is save it. Yours wouldn't have the pink heart. Then you come down to the 3 dots and you're going to click Make a Copy. Okay? What that does is in your library, you're going to see this. Now, you're going to see I have 2 of them because I've already saved it to my library. You don't need 2. This one says Mission Code, which means that's the one Seesaw did. I want to keep the one I did. I don't need 2 copies of everything. So I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to come back to those 3 dots and say, hey, remove this from my library. Because I want to be able to edit it. So in my library, I have this. So when I come in here, if I wanted to do something, I can... there's 3 dots on either one of these. Edit the activity, because that's what I want to do. I can change the name. I can change the instructions. I can go into the template. I don't want to change anything here, but if I wanted to change something here, now you're going to see it looks to be where I can't change it. But if I come down here, and all I did was click on the 3 dots at the bottom, and I selected Unlock. Now it's unlocked. So I can come in here and change this any way I want. So I'm going to actually, what I would do is take all of this out. I would, because we don't care. If you work in Scratch and they don't save it, they'll lose their work. So you may not have an hour to give to this. So I would actually rewrite this to say, log in with your CS First account, and that way it's saved. I would come in here, and the link where it says right here to, instead of coming right into Scratch, I would take this and open it up inside Google CS First. If you click See Inside, look what you've got. I'm in Scratch. I have all of the code. I have everything here. So this is not a problem. Here are instructions. that come over here with directions, define directions, and it tells you what you need to do. It actually tells the students. So what we're going to do is they can kind of put this all together. So they have to drive the car around, and they're going to program it. Some of your kids will want to do other things. So you can see, here's the robo-car. Here's the sprite for that. Here is one of the little gremlins, or whatever they are. And here's the house. Each one of these are programmable. You can see this is the only one that has anything. But your kids can get crazy and they can pull in a background. They can do anything they want. It's kind of cool. So this is Scratch. Do you as a teacher need to know a whole lot about Scratch to do this successfully? Not at all. Not at all. Because it takes care of it and it does everything for you. If you need to know how to, and you want the students to put a screenshot back in there so you can grade it or look at it, this tells them how to do that. That's not the only way they can do it. If you've logged in with CS First and you've created a class, all their work will show up in your classroom. So, but that's a video for another day. Anyway, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to delete it and go back. Discard any changes. Because now what I want to do is I want to show you how you can search by standard. So you can see this blue link over here, search by standard. And the first thing I'm going to do is just click search by standard. And it tells you how to use it, but we're just going to fly crazy and do it ourselves. We're in Kansas. Let's just say the language arts, 3rd grade. Here are your 3rd grade standards that it ties to. And you can see this one, ask and answer questions to demonstrate understanding of a text referring explicitly to the text as the basis for answers. There are 20 correlations. What does that mean? Those correlations, these are the Seesaw Lessons that meet that standard. Okay? So there you go. And it tells you down here, select a grade level and drag your mouse to the grade. If you like it, you just click on it. So if I said, what's my job, Major Attaway? Bam. There it is. So now you can work on it. All right, back to the curriculum alignment. That's not the only thing we can search by, standards. Everybody's pretty much up to speed on that because we search by standards all the time. But they've also got search by curriculum. And this is really nice. For math, I click math. I just have to find my math textbook. We use Eureka Math. It's going to open up a spreadsheet, and across the bottom are all of the grade levels. I will look at 2nd grade, and you can see Module 1, Sums and Differences to 100. Module 2, Addition and Subtraction of length units. So here are all your modules in Eureka Math. So if I say I am on Module 5, look right down here. Power blocks. How do I add within 1,000? Click it, and it's going to open up that lesson. Here it is. I can save this to my own library. I can make a copy if I want. If I'm not going to edit it, I can just leave it this way, and I can assign out pieces and parts. Oh, I want them to do this think right here. So I'm just going to assign this to my class, assign, and there it is. It's done. How easy was that? Okay, so close this. Got a lot of things open. So I'm going to go back into my library. Well, it still has all this stuff up here. So I can close that. You notice everything opens up in a new tab. That's fine. Makes it easy to go back. But it leaves a lot of tabs open that you have to close. I'm going to go to ELA. What do we use for ELA? Well, we use ReadyGen Realize from Savas. So I'm going to click that. Same format. Kinder through 5th grade. Our pre-Ks use the Kinder curriculum. And it comes up here with reading literature. Here are your units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down here. So I'm going to come up here. History today and why do we vote? It's going to open up a new tab. And here is my activity. Science. We don't have a science textbook. We actually use Mystery Science, which is a program and hands-on. But you can look at these, like here's Amplify Science, and it breaks things down. We'll go to 2nd grade. It breaks things down by plant and animal relationships, properties of matter, changing landforms. So there's some things in here, if you like. SEL. We use 2nd step. I'll look at 4th grade. So skills for learning, empathy, emotional management. Let's say I need some emotional management because sometimes in 4th grade that comes up. So, if I need to do something on share my feelings, here is a Seesaw lesson that deals with that. And basically it's 2 parts, introduction and practice. So they learn it and then they practice it. Computer science frameworks. On here we use CSTA. ISTE, we do use ISTE standards, but ISTE standards are not the same. They're technology standards. That's not the same as computer science standards. So we use CSTA, and it's all set up by grade levels. And here are the CSTA standards. Computing systems, networks and internet, so you can see what goes with that. Data and analysis, algorithms and programming. Here's all our mission code stuff here, and impacts of computing. So that just kind of tells you the different things and the units up here that kind of go with them. Okay? Pre-K5 frameworks. Add a loss here, people. I'm not a pre-K framework person. I have no idea what we use down there. So somebody else is going to have to jump in on that, but feel free to explore them. Spanish. Spanish is not necessarily a curriculum framework. It's a language, but we have Spanish immersion at one school and dual program at another, where they're completely speaking Spanish. And we have a lot of ELL kids that simply do not speak much English. So I'm just clicked on 2nd grade, and you can see reading literature. These are all activities, reading information, reading foundational skills. I'm going to choose this one. And the entire activity is in Spanish. Okay? So, even the teacher guide, this is also in Spanish. So it is completely done, and if I wanted to present to class, once again,
Señal tortuga, las estrellas en el
They are
cielo,
speaking
la brisa
Spanish.
fría.
Okay. We're going to close this out. As you can see, there are a lot of things in Seesaw Lessons. you can explore and search and look at different things. It's a lot of fun, and it's a whole lot less work for you as a teacher. Look at all the cool things you can do with May stuff. These change all the time. The new stuff, like I said at the top, the summer learning fun, changes a lot, and you can kind of play around with it. If you find something in one of those top 3 items, though, the monthly learning or the summer learning, understand those may be there and they may be hard to find again. If it's something you really want to use, I would go ahead and save it to my library. Remember, when you click it, you just click the Save button. Then it is in your library. I have everything, of course, in, I'll put it in ELA. I need to make a STEM one. Or an SEL. But here you go. I have the Spanish one in here now. So I can actually put anything in here I like. Okay, so I have it showing by this. So all my ELA activities will pop in. Here's my I Am Kind one I just put in. And that's done here. Okay, so I can edit my collection. I can delete my collection. I do not want to do that. Or I can just say, hey, close this and get completely out of it. Once again, to get back in, here's my library. Easy peasy. Okay? And there's, of course, I have 162 items not in a collection, so I can also create another collection down here. So if I wanted to do SEL, now I have an SEL collection. I like organizing my collections, but that doesn't mean you have to. It's completely up to you or not. Anyway, that concludes our video on Seesaw Lessons. As always, if you have any questions or concerns about something in this presentation, or if you need help, I'm only an email away. My name is Gail Ramirez, and it was nice to spend a little time with you.